Welcome to ATD and the D, the podcast driving modern talent development in the Motor City and beyond. I'm Sarah Meyer from Dark Mode Learning, and alongside me is Clifton Clark from the Detroit Learning Alliance. Every episode, we sit down with industry leaders to cut through the noise, challenge standard practice, and break down what actually works. Let's dive in.
Welcome back to ATD and the D. Today, we are bringing deep insight into organizational development, talent system design, and what it really means to build a data-driven talent experience. Now, we are thrilled to welcome Rusty Shields to the show. Welcome, Rusty.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. Thanks for the invitation. I've been looking forward to this one for a while. So thanks for the invitation and allowing me to be on your show.
Awesome.
Rusty, we're so excited to have you on today. Before we dive in to this upcoming session that you're giving, can you give our listeners a quick snapshot? Can you tell us about your involvement with OrgDev?
Yeah, so I've taken on a much bigger role in OrgDev this year. So in previous years, I've just spoken at the conference, did a session, but it was some of my involvement with ATD and as a facilitator for their programs. I'm also on the PAC this year, so the Program Advisory Committee for the OrgDev conference. So I was actually on the committee that helped choose the presentations and have been working towards planning the event and just had a really good time with that. We'll also be speaking at the event, and last but not least, they asked me to MC or host the event. So you'll see me quite a bit, and so I'm super excited to be able to do that. I just like to have fun, so look for a high energy, high fun type of conference. I think everyone should be jealous if they're not attending, but if you have a question, you just should be attending. So I'm sure we'll dive more into that. But yeah, definitely highly involved with this. I just love this conference. It's such a fun conference.
Absolutely. And a special welcome to all of our listeners out there who will be attending OrgDev. This is a special edition of ATD and the D where we're going to focus on Rusty and what he does in his everyday life. But in particular, today, we're going to talk a lot about this conference, OrgDev, as well as the workshop that he is putting together. But we're going to do that a little bit later. Rusty, we like to know, for all of our speakers that we have coming on this year, we like to know, what is your go-to theme song right now?
Man, that is so hard to answer for right now. If I had to say right now, I've got a theme song that is Rusty's theme song. And then I've also got some go-tos that are like, if I went to my YouTube music, that's my go-to listening platform. I've been grandfathered into YouTube music since it was Google Play before it was the Play Store. Like, I've been with it that long.
Oh, wow.
But my go-to theme song right now would probably have to be the music from Hamilton, the musical. Is kind of where I've been living in right now, like my shot, taking my shot, getting my shot, not going to ignore my shot. But my theme song, that's Rusty's theme song, is This Is Me from The Greatest Showman.
Oh, that's a great one.
Oh, The Greatest Showman. Okay.
Yeah, I like.
Do you love that one too, Clifton?
So good.
No, not necessarily.
Rusty's like,
that's a hot take. That's a hot take.
I'm weak on show tunes. I'm weak. I'm gonna learn. I promise.
I believe that. I believe you are weak on show tunes, and Rusty and I can fix that.
Yes.
Yeah. But exactly.
We will do the training session on that.
You're into music, and we know each other for a few years now, and we every year at ICE we get together and somehow end up in some kind of karaoke situation that Rusty is like killing.
I love karaoke.
He kills karaoke like it's scary how good Rusty is. So I'm really glad that we got to ask you that question, and now I gotta go look up the Hamilton soundtrack. And I gotta go look up the Greatest Showman soundtrack because I'm weak on show tunes.
Okay, so now we have a playlist for our drive.
Now the thing is, I would prefer you to watch them instead of listening to them because I think you need the context.
I thought about mine too, Clifton, because we are making this playlist. So I thought mine is "Come As You Are" by Nirvana.
Oh.
Because we are training them, right? We are molding them
Yeah.
from where they are. We're not trying to change who they are.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Good one. What about yours, Clifton?
Yeah.
I'm all over the place. I am
Ooh.
all over the place in terms of theme songs, and that's sort of apropos for my life right now. I'm all over the place. So there is not one particular song or genre that I'm favoring right now. So I'm open.
Okay. Well, maybe over the course of the season, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. At the end of the
Like that.
season, we will
Ooh, a
publish
reveal.
on Spotify all
Yes.
of our speakers this year and their theme song. So hopefully you could use that whole playlist and motivate yourselves to do great things as well.
Yeah, and I've got some recommendations for you, Clifton, that are not musical theater. So I've got plenty of recommendations that I think that you will add to that list. So
There you go.
That's just where I am right now with my brand and who I am. That's what.
I love that though, Rusty. Stay true to your brand. Stay true. I think
Isn't that
it's
great?
safe.
Yeah. Okay. So as we stated, we are going to talk a great deal about the OrgDev conference today. So let's talk about that experience of the conference. So now a lot of practitioners feel like attending a massive national ATD conference is like drinking from a fire hose. And we've all seen this before, especially for our first or second conference. How do you contrast the large scale event with the smaller more regional focused OrgDev conference, Rusty?
Yeah, you were exactly right. It is. It's drinking, and I say it's drinking from the fire hydrant, not even drinking from the fire hose. Like I feel like it's just they just grab the hydrant and open it full blast, and you're blown 3 blocks back. Like that's the way it feels by the end of it. All good stuff, mind you, not bad stuff. It's just a lot of information, and the schedule is packed.
Yeah,
very well. It's a good packed schedule. So I'm not saying nothing bad about that schedule. The way that this conference differs is because it's a regional conference, because it's smaller in its design. It's a purposeful, intentional, smaller design for that reason, because we do have a flagship conference that is the conference that everyone goes to, where there could be anywhere from 9,000 people like this year up to 12 or 13,000 in previous years before COVID. That's what you're looking at from that scale to now we're in the hundreds, not even breaking 1,000, right? You could be 500, which is great because that allows for the connective tissue to happen easier. You do see the same people over 2.5 days versus at the big conference, at the ICE conference, you may not see a single person once, like a friend that you came to the conference with. You may not see them unless you intentionally say, let's meet right here.
You're so true. There were a few people who I met continuously, and those connections have stayed to this day. And I think the people who I met only once kind of drifted away. So that's a great point.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll see the same people over and over, but I love also that there is a focus on OrgDev versus at the international conference. There's 20-something tracks that you can choose from, upwards of 330 sessions that you can choose from, versus OrgDev. It is strictly focused on organizational development, and it focuses on you being able to focus on how your organization looks at organizational development and how you can shape your organization's evolvement and evolution, and how you respond to change and how you prepare for what's next. We really want attendees at OrgDev to learn from experts and fellow practitioners who understand the complexity of work and discover approaches that can be applied to real business changes. And that's what really makes it a lot different, is that the focus purely on OrgDev, but it's a size, and so again, per round of breakout sessions, you've only got a choice of 3 to 4 sessions, whereas at the big conference, you've got a choice of 20 sessions to choose from, and it's kind of overwhelming. Here, you've got a choice of 3, and each of those tracks, it's easy to say, okay, I can really focus on this track and get what I need, while still having the connections and conversations at lunches, breaks, and in the hallway that you can continue to have. Easier to debrief, There's networking events in the evening. So it really is intentionally designed to be a much smaller scale, but more focused conference.
And specifically this year, the networking is going to be a little bit different. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so this is not the original city that this conference was going to be hosted in. So this was planned a year ago to be in Minneapolis, Minnesota, is where this was being planned. And Core 4, which is going to be happening in Indianapolis, was planned to be in Indianapolis at this week. So they purposely planned both of these conferences to be the same week, but in different cities. But when the unrest was happening with all the ICE protests and the things that were happening in Minneapolis, ATD made a conscious decision very early to let's not be near that and put people at risk. Right, we don't want to be where that unrest is. So let's just mix Core 4 and ATD. We've already got the convention center at Indianapolis. Why not just use what we've got and open up some more possibilities for connection by having networking events with the same attendees at Core 4? So still, Core 4, another focused conference on the 4 core pillars of learning and development. They're going to be having a conference while we're having a conference, and there's going to be cross-pollination at networking events. Now, if you wanted to attend Core 4 sessions, you do have to have a separate registration, right? So because it is a separate conference, but the networking can still be the same.
Yes.
Okay. Nice.
So yeah, a lot different than we've ever done before. So it's a new thing. It could lead to some future possibilities, I think. So we'll see how it works out. But I love the idea of mixing those two together. But yeah, definitely some big changes. But it's just gonna be a great conference.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That ability to focus on immediate application is really critical on these tools and things that you were talking about earlier. Why is the return to the foundational OrgDev thinking so urgent right now?
I think it is because of that chasing of tech that we're doing. I think most of us will remember, not this year, but the year before for the international conference when it was in DC, was the highest amount of AI sessions we had ever had at the conference. And then this year we had one of the keynotes was specifically around AI. So definitely, and again, more sessions even than the previous year on AI. So it's a part of our landscape now, whether it be personally or professionally, and especially in the learning and development world. It is part of the landscape. It's going to become its own modality before long. And it's great to have, but there is still a key piece that is involved with every part of AI that is required, and that's humans.
Yes.
Like there has to be a human involved with prompts, with how AIs are created, with the outputs that we still have to make our own, or else it's plagiarism. There's still a human piece involved. So the foundational piece that we still want to bring forward is that there's still human elements involved. So going back to those foundations of human involved learning, you can create AI all day long, but who is the receiver of those things you are creating in AI? Humans are the receivers of that information. Absolutely. So it still goes down to the foundational piece of we are developing people in our organizations. No matter what tool we use, we are still developing humans. And so the foundational piece of organizational development is the development of the humans in our organizations.
Beautiful. Yeah. That segues us perfectly to the Spark Effect. Your upcoming session called the Spark Effect, Future-Proofing Leadership Development Through Human-Centered Design. Tell us more about this and why it is relevant right now.
Yeah, this is something I've been working on for a few years now. So the Spark Effect is a framework I created a couple of years ago, and it's just happenstance. I was camping and was trying to come up with my next year of conference proposals that I was coming up with. Just like everybody, you've got a topic you stick with and you just alter it for every conference you apply for, so that way you're not recreating the wheel every conference. And so I was like, what am I going to use for the next year? It's like I was going through my head, what do I want to talk about? Well, it's way too much content. People are just putting too much content. We are smothering people with information. And then we were walking through the campsites and I looked over this guy and he was trying to get his campfire going and it was not like he couldn't get it going. And in my mind, I thought, you're smothering it. Like you are not giving it enough oxygen to breathe so a spark can happen. Well, then the light bulb went off. So what's the opposite of smothering is sparking. And so that's when I came up with the SPARK effect, which is a 5-letter acronym for a framework for a human-centered design and delivery. And so it still focuses on the human piece of design and delivery. You know, we talk about the S is for shifting your mindset around content. Are we going to continue to focus on content, or are we going to focus on connection? And so you're shifting of the mindset. The P is for practicing curiosity. How can we begin to ask more about the needs of our audience instead of just us telling them that what we think they need to know, just smothering with information. A is for activate engagement. So we know that every 20 minutes that an adult sits with no interaction, they lose 15% of the oxygen going to their brain. If that's not a statistic for you, multiply it by 3. A 1-hour session, no engagement. They're losing 45% of the oxygen going to their brain, which means they're hearing half of what we're saying, and we wonder why there's a retention and transfer issue. So we have to activate engagement. The R is for reinforce impact. So we have to decide, what did I learn from this session? How am I going to reinforce the impact that it had on the future? And the K is for keep sparking. And so I turned that kind of framework into a framework around how can we create these environments and learning for sparking connection. And so I went a step further and said, well, a spark effect could be used for leaders. And so my whole idea is, how many of us have created a leadership program, designed a large leadership program, and it looked great on paper, full of valuable content, but then participants still struggle to connect that information to the realities of leading people every day. And so that's where the spark effect really comes in. So we're going to explore 3 common design traps. 1, cramming too much information and too much content. 2, creating a one-size-fits-all experience. And 3, treating leadership development as a one-time event. We're going to look at those 3 traps and examine how to replace those traps with human-centered design choices that are going to increase relevance, engagement, and lasting application. And so that's what we're hoping that problem is going to address, is that investment of time and resources that we put into leadership development, that we can now, with that investment of time, if we make them human-centered, then we're going to see behavior change and organizational impact that's going to happen for years to come.
Wow. Yeah. So
Clifton likes you.
What do you mean? Like, I love Rusty.
I see it.
I love Rusty because he just said all that great stuff, but his presentations are, as we said in our other video, it was a shame that you were on the last day, but your presentations are always very involved. So you're not going to go in here and pull out your notepad and go to sleep. That's not going to happen. You're going to be well involved. There's going to be some activity. I mean, everything that you just said and your knowledge of how to tell us how to design, you put into your own workshops. And so tell us, if you can, if there is anything else you can tell us about this workshop, what will people be able to take away and work on Monday morning at work? Because that's a thing for me too. It's great stuff, but sometimes I have to go home and digest what I learned and see how I can make it work for me at my employer. What will they be able to take away Monday morning?
Yeah, you're exactly right. And thank you for your kind words. That means a lot, because that's what I aim to do. And so to hear that it's working, and so I think about, yes, I agree. I was like, I can't believe I had to do the last session, the last breakeout time, 10 a.m. leading right into the keynote. I feel like half the conference was gone. I didn't see near as many people.
It was packed, though. If everyone else was there that left, we would have needed another room.
We had all of them. We sure did.
Good. I love that.
Is if you remember, they had to put the session full sign on the door 10 minutes before the session even started.
Yes.
So we were connecting and doing activities 15 minutes before the session started. Yeah. And so it's not going to be one of those situations where you come in and sit down, you take out your phone and computer. I tell people, when you come in the room, if you come in early to get a good seat, you're going to be engaged. You're not going to have time to get on your phone and check your email or order your Amazon cart that you just put in the last session.
Oh, right. Well, we have to get there like 20 minutes early.
Yeah, he did.
But Exactly. From the video, I had my hall
Clifton's
and I
never
put it in
early.
the seat, and somebody moved it out of the seat that I put it in.
Hey, I thought he was moving in with that haul he had. He
They
had like
put my
4
stuff on
bags.
the
He was pulling
floor.
behind
They
him.
needed the chair. They needed the
We
chair.
did.
They
There were
put my
people
stuff on the
standing,
floor.
but that tells me that what I'm doing is working, and that the methodology that I created a framework around, that's what I'm putting into practice. And so it's one of those things. If I say I'm going to do something, I want to put it into practice, I'm going to do it. The proof's in the pudding for me. Like, I've seen too many times where they've said it's going to be this, and you go in and I'm like, that's not what I was sold. Like, like how many times have you ever been sold something, you get it and you're like, that's not what I was just sold. I don't want to ever be that. And so that's what this framework is all about. And coming to the session, I can guarantee what you're going to walk away with is at least one, I'm hoping more, but at least one thing that you can apply Monday morning. And that's what I want it to be. I don't want you to have to take what I'm giving you and have to work another 3 months on to figure out how can I apply it. It's going to be something that you can apply immediately, and then it's up to you to reap the benefits of what that thing is giving you, and then saying, okay, now let me move that to the next level. I'm going to give you 3 strategies for each, one for each trap, right? So I'm going to identify what those traps look like. So you're going to know how to identify it by looking at it. So that's one thing you're going to be able to do instantly, is identify what is a trap and what's it look like. And then with this trap, here's the technique to overcome it. And then it's going to be in my second part. Here's the second trap. Here's how you overcome it. And the third one is, here's the third trap. Here's how you overcome it. I can guarantee you there's going to be an interactive activity with each one for you to apply. It ain't gonna be me talking. That ain't gonna be nothing. I mean, y'all are doing all the work. That's what I love. The less talking I do, the better. But you're going to be engaged when you come in the room. You're going to have 3 activities to apply what we're talking about. And then before you leave, you're going to create your own action plan of how you're going to do this in the next 30 days. So that's what you're going to walk away with. And as long as you take it, you're going to use it.
Don't miss it, guys. Don't miss it.
No, you don't want to miss out. You want to say I should have went to this one.
So how do you involve future proofing in the context of this workshop?
Yeah, and so that's where I think the real big piece comes in. It's almost like when I think of planting a tree. When I think of planting a tree, you aren't going to see the shade from it. Because you're planting a tree, you're never going to experience the shade from, because of how long it takes trees to grow. Future proofing is all about how can we prepare something now to last for a long time. And so though you may not reap the large benefits, it has to start here at a small seed level, at a individual contributor level, because we are the ones that are impacting the organizations, right? And so we are the boots on the ground, like I would say. We are the change agents. We're the army that's on the ground, and it starts at that level. And so we have to figure out a way, how can we be more concerned about these humans that are performing these jobs? We have to be involved with how we develop those humans, because these are the humans that are going to make the organization better with their performance. That's where the ROI comes from, is them performing better. But if we don't prepare them in the classroom to go back on the job and perform better, then we're not doing our part. We're not a business partner, we're an order taker. And that's not what I don't want us to be. I want us to be a contributing partner to the organization. And the way to do that is to guarantee there's performance management change. And the only way we do that is by making sure that we aren't using leadership development as a one size fits all, or if we're not, not showing them how to actually do this on the job. There's not reality. It's almost like it's almost like a Minecraft we've created. You come to our space and play in the Minecraft, but it ain't anything like what you're going to do on the job. It can't be
that before.
Just that here it's a one-time event. Leadership development is not a one-time event. And so the way to future-proof is to prepare them when you've got them and you've got their attention, prepare them for the job. And that's where future-proofing really comes in.
So you talked a little bit ago, about 15 minutes ago, a lot about human-centered design and what that means. So I'm just gonna resisting diving back into that. Tell us anything else you want us to know about that, but also in your solutions, in your processes, is AI involved?
Not for what they should be doing in their sessions. No. Now,
That's that's great for me. I told you I'm the old man on the porch when it comes to
right.
AI. I am going to be the grandpa with the cane on the porch saying, get that AI off my lawn. So that warms my heart that we're going to come to this workshop and we're going to get practical strategies that humans give for humans, and that it doesn't include any kind of prompts to Claude or GPT or any other fancy names out there.
Yeah, right. You're exactly right, because I don't want this to be a session that only works for organizations that have an AI engine. There's some organizations that they're not allowed to have an AI engine yet because maybe they're still fearful of security, or maybe they don't have an effective AI that's going to be working. Will there be times where you can take this idea and use AI if you have that tool and make it applicable? Yeah, anybody can do that, right? Take this idea, put it in your chat GPT or your Claude or whatever, and help and chat with it and make it a conversation. Just don't copy and paste what it outputs. But does it mean that AI is bad? No, not at all. It's like it's a tool. It is a tool, exactly what it is, but it is not an end all for me. And so again, it's still the human piece that you're going to get human strategies, because that's why it's human centered. And the human centered piece, and not only is from tech, but it's human centered or content centered. Is it going to be this 90-page deck that you're being forced to deliver tomorrow? Or is it going to be, let me just find out what these human needs using the content in this deck? You may not see the deck. I may just use the content and say, hey, here's the topics. Let me ask you a question about this, and then I'll find out what you need, and then this is how you fix it.
Just humans loving humans.
It's exactly
we just return to that in this world.
Humans crave
Let's do it.
Humans crave connection, and that's what it's all about.
Yes. So
yes, it is.
Yeah. This, I wish that we could, but no one would listen. I wish we could talk for like hours, Rusty, but we do have to be efficient with our time. So we do want to wrap up a little bit with just your information and how can our podcast audience get more of the Develefy experience. So everyone's going to come to OrgDev. We're going to claim it. If your ears hit this podcast episode, you're coming to OrgDev. You're going to bring a friend.
Yep.
Okay. But in addition to that, how can I get more Rusty in my life?
Well, I would be very remiss if I did not talk just a brief bit more about the conference in terms of it being in Indianapolis, because Indianapolis is my city, right? Okay. So before we talk about more Rusty, I do want to talk a little bit about Indianapolis. So
you have a whole video for us, don't you?
We do. There's a video coming, ATD. So a friend of mine, Michelle Baker, which I know some of you know, she is in Indianapolis as well, and we are both speaking at OrgDev. And so they asked Michelle and I to do a intro welcome to the city. So we marched our little butts all around Indianapolis recording clips and videos, and they're piecing it all together, and there's going to be like a promo video. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. But yeah, Indianapolis is my city. And what I will tell you is this conference has done everything it should be doing to make sure that it's easy to maneuver. So both of the conference hotels are connected to the convention center by a walkway. So, like y'all know, you've been to the conferences, it's all about where you stay. It ain't about this. I ain't a mile away. My shoes ain't gonna work that long.
Like you're not doing it again, bro.
No.
Yes.
It's across the street. Like literally, there's a walkway from the second floor to the convention center to the floor.
No need for a line bike this time. No need. Everything's close. Within walking distance.
Both hotels are connected. Both of them. And for the rate we're getting for $195 a night, you are not going to find a better rate than that in downtown Indianapolis.
Okay. That is I stayed in Indianapolis earlier this year for $229. I thought that was a deal.
Okay. Yeah, no. And it's going to be even higher than that. Like it will, because they know there's a convention in town. So the rate we're getting, yes, do it. Indianapolis, one of my favorite cities to maneuver downtown. You won't need a car. You won't need to. Everything is walkable. Love the food scene. Love the bar scene. So many good, safe places to go. It's also the home of the Indianapolis 500, the largest single racing event in the world. It's the racing capital of the world. So there's a huge interactive immersive museum that they've got at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. There are direct flights to many cities in Indianapolis.
Are there any parties that we should know about?
I haven't seen the exact schedules yet, but if there aren't any like parties that vendors have, then I'll just create a party. I got all kinds of places I can go, and there's all kinds of karaoke places. Just saying. So hey, just saying.
I thought he's gonna find his way to one.
I love it. I have a degree in music too, vocal.
Yeah,
so let's do it, Rusty.
Yeah, hey, I'm all about that. We did it in Salt Lake City. We've done it everywhere. I love that. That's the first time we met Clifton was 2021. Man, I can't believe it's been 5 years already.
Yeah,
that's crazy. But yeah, Indianapolis is just great. So really, if you are, and the thing I love about it is how close it is to so many of our big cities. Chicago, 3 hours. St. Louis, 3 hours, Nashville, 4 hours, Columbus, Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky, all these, Detroit. I mean, heck, it's right up the road, it feels like. So even if you don't want to fly, there are plenty of places. And I recommend really, really coming if you've had any qualms about thinking about it. It's just going to be a fun time. It's almost like that, after the big conference is over, you leave and, you got to rest for a little bit because it's going to wear you out. But at the same time, then you kind of got that, I miss all my friends. I miss all my time. It's almost like that time in the middle to get you another little taste of conference life again, where you get to see all your friends and get excited again. That's going to get you to the next time.
So now I've never been to the regional conference, Rusty. So I've never done OrgDev or Core 4, any of those. Are there vendors?
There are a few, yes. Yes, they're not to the. It doesn't have a hall, thing. But there will be vendors like in the lobby of the area we meet. So I would say 10 to 15, maybe.
That's enough. That's
and they all give away
some work. I could get some work done.
They give away books. There's chances to take pictures. There's you win stuff. Just saying.
Okay.
That's what. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
Let's do it. We can make it happen. But in your other question was how to get more of Rusty. Well, Rusty's easy to find, and Rusty loves to talk, as you can tell. So LinkedIn, that's always a go-to. Like I post weekly on my LinkedIn with professional development posts. Like my post today for Transformation Tuesday was all about metrics and measuring at the organization instead of just butts in seats and completion rates and certificates. It's all about, did we make a difference in their behavior? Yeah. So that's what today's post is about. So connect with me there. Facebook, I've got a personal and a business page. Either one is fine. The content's the same. And then I have a website, Rusty, so it'll be www.develefy.com, DEVELEFY. And so you can always reach me there, which also includes a chance for you to connect through a meeting. We can have a virtual meeting. All of my Zoom stuff is there. So definitely easy to find. You just got to do your part to look.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rusty. And to our listeners, make sure to check out Rusty's session at the upcoming ATD OrgDev conference. Until next time, keep humanizing your learning and talent workflows.
Love
everybody.
Thank you so much, everybody.
As a thank you for watching this episode, we have a coupon code for you for attending OrgDev. We would love to see you there. Please check our comments for more details.